Unmatched productivity at an age when most taper off. Vijay compiled, how's this, 22 of his 34 wins after he turned 40, more than anyone in history. An admired champion, more than a beloved one. He won his second PGA Championship 20 years ago. With more, we welcome Todd Lewis. Todd?
Well, Rich, there are only two players in the 2000s that sat atop the official world golf ranking. One of those players, of course, Tiger Woods. The other is Vijay Singh. He supplanted Tiger in 2004 when Tiger was at the height of his powers, winning 9 times that year on the PGA Tour. And as you mentioned, one of those victories coming at Whistling Straits, the PGA Championship. You could call Vijay, yes, a late bloomer with all those victories in his 40s, but the seeds of his success were actually planted modestly in Fiji. He went on a global path, actually had a stop in Scotland where he was a bouncer at a club. And yes, he may seem tough and rigid, but underneath, he's a bit of a softie. And when I sat down with the big Fijian, he had a big appreciation of what he's accomplished.
What's this for anyway?
We've done a whole feature on you for the PGA Championship.
Oh, really? Then I won't be playing it, so what the hell?
All right, I want you to go back when you're in Fiji and you're young. When did you establish a passion for the game?
I played golf with my dad. He would play golf any chance he would get. My brothers were the same. We didn't have that much going in Fiji. I was too skinny and tiny to play rugby because those guys are huge and they would beat you up.
You were tiny?
You haven't seen those Fijian kids, you know, I mean, they're huge. Golf was the only thing that I would play. I don't think I was really good at it, but as I got going and started competing with my brothers a little bit more, I kind of got a hang of it. Played the Asian Tour. It was tough, nothing in your pocket. Week in, week out, trying to make a cut and then survive to go to the next tournament, kind of that.
What did you learn about yourself as a player when you were playing essentially just to survive?
You know, it was tough. There was a lot of pro-am events where you would go out and earn $300, $400 a tournament, and if you win, you make $1,000. That kind of kept me going. I wasn't making much money at all, so I took a club job.
You worked as a bouncer?
When I went to Edinburgh, I worked as a bouncer. I could fight a little bit when I did a little bit of martial arts when I was growing up a little bit. When you're a bouncer, you have a lot of support, so.
Gotcha.
Earned enough cash that way, and I won 2 tournaments, the African tour, and that was it. That kind of got me going.
You come to the United States, make it on the PGA Tour.
That's where my practice came in. All I wanted to do was get better and better and better. Once I started winning, kind of intensified my training.
That puts the cap on it right there, pretty good.
I started thinking, yeah, this is feeling good. I can do this.
Were you constantly in pursuit of getting better?
I didn't want to lose to anybody. That was my thing, Nobody's going to beat me in this game. Even to this day, I feel like if I go out there and play the way I want to play, I'm capable of beating anybody.
Vijay means victory.
You win that first major championship.
It was very strange because I'm not the one to go out there and start celebrating and say, hey, this is it, I got it. Woke up the next day and I was back at the driving range again. So it was like nothing ever happened. But win or lose, I was always there full-heartedly. I never really enjoyed, my success.
How much was Tiger Woods a motivation for you?
Yeah, I think it was a motivation for everybody,
But he didn't intimidate you?
I had a different mindset. I thought that if I play my best, nobody's going to beat me. And playing with him, looked him straight in the eyes, this guy ain't going to beat me.
Vijay, #1 in the golf world.
People talk about it, you're the only one that took Tiger off his crown when he was playing the best. I said, well, I wasn't playing too badly either, I won 9 times one year, so.
2004, in your 40s, you win a few times that year. You come to the PGA Championship, still searching for your first major since 2000.
I think I was playing so well that year that I took it for granted that I was going to win. That was a mistake I did. And I don't think I made a birdie on the final day.
How does he leave that short, Jim? I mean, there's just a synopsis of his day right there.
Solid with that one. 3 men, 3 holes to decide it.
After we tied, I went in the bathroom, looked at myself. I said, you know, you got to do this. This is yours to lose. And I came out there with a different attitude. This is mine, and that's it.
He let that one go.
And I was full of confidence, playing to win instead of playing not to lose.
It's all his now. Vijay Singh is the champion.
Why do you feel like you were better in your 40s than any other part of your career?
I started working out pretty late in my career. I wish I'd done that way earlier. I was reading a lot of mental books. I remember I was struggling with my putting. And I was talking to this psychologist. I said, you know, I am the best putter in the world. I believe that. I can't make a putt. And she said, well, why don't you just go out there and just say you're the best putter in the world? And I just went out there and I just told myself, I'm the best putter in the world. I introduced myself to everybody. I'm the best putter in the world. You know? And seriously, I mean, that was strange, but it actually helped me.
And that is big.
I won the FedEx Cups from there on.
Vijay Singh was going to win the 2nd FedEx Cup.
There have been a lot of media members, maybe fellow players, who don't really know you. Give off this exterior, being tough, kind of standoffish at times. But if you had to describe yourself as a player, what would you say?
I think I was just focused. I was totally focused. I didn't want any distraction. Media, to me, now it's important to, you know, talk to the media, and because the whole world is surrounded with media. To me, it was a big distraction. I would rather have a quick interview and leave. And I was criticized a lot for being that way. I'm very comfortable with myself. It's just that I don't think the media is comfortable with me, you know, and you're not giving me a chance to get comfortable with you. And if you do that, time will tell.
Did that bother you?
I mean, it bothered a lot more people around me that came back and told me, hey, you got to do more of this. I said, no, I don't. I was so focused on what I wanted to do. And I think people took the wrong idea of who I really was.
Well, who are you?
I'm me. I'm relaxed. I enjoy my life. I don't run away from anything. I have enough love in this world that is good enough for me. I'm happy with who I am. I really am happy with who I am. What else can I say?
And you saw that shot with his son, Cash, there competing at the PNC Championship. Vijay still works out religiously and uniquely, using sometimes a sledgehammer, flipping a tire. And occasionally we see flashes of the old Vijay. As a matter of fact, at the Masters this year, he made the cut at the age of 61. Again, Rich, hard to believe. 2 players in the first decade of this century, from 2000 to 2009, held the #1 spot in the official world golf ranking. Tiger Woods and Vijay Singh, quite a player and quite a character.
It was a good interview, Todd. We really enjoyed that. 9 wins in 2004. And you get the sense he liked the idea of drilling Tiger Woods, Brandon, when everybody else seemed to be intimidated.
Yeah, I mean, I always said that Tiger Woods psychologically emasculated his closest peers. The ones who seemed to stand up to him didn't have much to lose. They were sort of lower-ranked players, but Vijay was certainly the one exception to that.
And with respect to the indifference with the media, what you made a comment here.
Look, I wish I'd have seen that side of him earlier. It was just a great interview. Loved it.